Hello friends, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's get me all shared where I need to go. Thank you, MJ. I appreciate you, my sweet friend. So, I am in the Crafters Gone Wild event today, and it is the Ghostly Ghouls event. So I hope that you will enjoy what I will be doing today. Before me was Miss Sarah from the Wobbly Nickel. She did this really cool Day of the Dead skull. I really like that. And up after me will be the Crafty Cove with Melissa Rose. So make sure that you stick around for that, okay? And just finishing to get myself all sprinkled where I need to go. And make sure that you are following Crafters Gone Wild, the event group. It is a free group to join, and you can watch all of today's creators. You can watch all of the future events that they have. I believe they'll have an event on Sunday as well. So, you know, definitely want to join them. Hello there, Miss Mary Ferguson and Mama Connie. How are you, my sweet friend? Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so evidently we have... Oh, so many things have updated. Like, what in the world? Everything's so different. Okay. So, happy Friday to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and turn you guys down so that you can see what it is that I will be working with. And let's get rolling, okay? And I will have you guys pulled up on my phone on this end, just because... okay. Sorry, y'all don't want to hear me twice. Yes, welcome in. Alright, so we are going to be using a old mac and cheese box. I have this pretty fabric, and it is all pink Halloween. We got ghosts and skulls and smiling jack-o'-lanterns and witchy hats and bats and all the cute things. So we're going to use this to decorate and make this into a journal. So come along for the ride. Alright. If you do not have chipboard, if you don't have maybe a book itself that you could, you know, turn into a journal, there is always packaging that we can utilize, okay? So always keep that in mind. I look for the seam so that I can take it apart there and lay it flat. Alright, so now I have this open. So we need to trim off the ends because we're not going to use those. And you can do it with your trimmer or just a pair of scissors is fine. So hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. It is Friday, which means that the weekend has begun. The sun is down and the weekend has begun. Now don't get me wrong, it might be the weekend, but my husband has to go into work tonight, so yeah. But it's all good. I'll be hanging out with y'all. Now, I'm going to actually keep these because these make me think of tabs. So I'm actually going to keep those, whether for this project or for a future project. And then those are skinny enough that I can utilize those to make something. Alright, so we need a spine and we need cover, okay? So when we go to open up a book, right, we open up our books this way, okay? So that means that this flap here and this flap need to go, okay? So we gotta cut those off. Y'all, I had a total brain fart moment right there. I'm like, which way do we open up books again? You'll come spend the weekend with me? Hey, that'd be fun. We get to craft together. But wait a second, what about your hubby? Wouldn't he miss you? But you know what? That would be fun to have like a girls' weekend. Where'd you live again, Miss MJ? You might need to plan something. Alright, so this one I can use. This is too small. This is going in the trash. So I'm trying to get better about the pieces that I really cannot use to make sure that they do go into the trash. So this is what we have right now. So we have a back, a front, and a spine. Okay, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of anything to this, right? Which was great. And I am going to keep it at this thickness. I'm good with that. So she's gonna be a little on the chunky side. She'll be fine. It'll be a little chunky, you know. But if you wanted to make it smaller, you could always shorten your spine if you want to, okay? And let me see, how thick is this? It is 2 inches. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it as is. But because this will be my spine, right? I love that. He'll get over it. He'll be fine. I am going to use the other piece that I had, and I'm just going to layer it so that I can have some more stability, okay? So that is something that we're going to do. We're going to layer this, okay? But yeah, where are you, MJ? Because I'm sure I've asked you a gazillion times, and I'll keep on asking because I'm horrible with my memory. But you know, it would be nice. It would be nice. Like I know where my wonderful Sarah is. She is right next door to me, and I have yet to meet her. So we need to do better about that and try to meet up. But I know she's got little kids, so it's a little harder when you've got younger children. And of course, you know, the thing called a day job kind of messes with people too. So, okay. Ohio. Man. We might need to meet halfway. That's a little far. But then again, don't y'all have like good thrift stores and stuff up that way? Or is that Michigan? I forget. I know that there's some northern states that are supposed to be like really good have like really good thrift stores, really good Dollar Trees, or at least they get stuff that we don't get here in our area. So, and then there's a lot of crafters that live up north too, so. Alright, so this is 3-in-1. Same with Fabri-Tac. If you use it in a well ventilated area. My area is very spacious and the door stays open. Plus I have my fan and stuff going, so see, we might need to figure something out then. Might need to figure out me coming to visit then. Only thing is, I'm not driving to Ohio again. No, that was Illinois. I'm not driving to Illinois. That was too much of a drive. I'm not doing that again. So if I go up north, it's gonna be, I'm gonna fly next time, because I'm not doing that one. Miss Ruthie! Hey, sweet friend. I saw your messages and stuff. I just haven't... It's been a busy day for me today. Busy day. And I haven't been feeling the best. So, I've been juggling. Trying to do all the things. But thank you so much for popping on. I really do appreciate it. Okay. So, now that I have my base done, okay, we reinforced the spine. You can reinforce the covers if you want to, but I don't see the need for that because we're gonna end up putting fabric on the outside. We'll put paper on the inside, so it'll be all good. I am gonna come west. I'm gonna try to make it out to Arizona in March. Miss Rosa had a whole conversation the other day while I was live about that. About coming out to the meetup that the herd is doing. Because I was like, yeah, I wanted to come and see you. So, you know I want to see you. So yeah, so I need to... The only thing is, just like up north, that is... Look, I did the 20-hour drive to San Antonio, but that was because that was my baby. I can't do that again, so I'm gonna have to fly, which means I would need somebody to pick me up from the airport or whatever, someplace. Because yeah, I can't do that type of drive anymore. That's a bit too much for this old body of mine. I know, right? Ruthie's the best. I love her. Oh, cool. See, I needed to talk with you anyways, because I need to figure out logistics of that. I need to figure out the logistics and all that stuff, because I also need to figure out payment and all the things. So, I'm guessing we're gonna have to get a hotel room, which that means I'm gonna have to make sure that I have the funds for all of that stuff. So, but yeah, I just need to message you and talk with you about that, and then we just need to figure out something. So then that would put me on the West Coast. I do my retreat in Oklahoma. That will put me almost in the middle of the country. Need to figure out about going up north, I guess. Okay, so let's cover the outside of this in my cutie patootie fabric that I have. Okay, and this is a fat quarter, so more than enough to cover what I need. Okay, now, you know, you technically could see some of that, so I mean, if you wanted to, you could cover it. Let me see, I think, do I still have a piece of paper? Let me cover it in some paper right quick. Just so that I can get that off of my mind. Alright, so I have this misprint, so I'm just going to use it, and I'm going to cover the back of this. I mean, you could paint it if you wanted to. I'm I'm not too worried about painting. So, really not too worried about painting. So I'm just going to cover it in this paper. That's all. That is all we shall do. But yeah, Miss Rosa the other day was like, oh, you need to come. So she was sending me information. And I was like, I need to talk with Ruthie. Because I would like to come. Look, super precise cutting and trimming here, guys. Like, the best ever. You know. Hey, Miss Rosa, did you hear me talking about you, dear? I was... only good things, my friend. Alright, so I'm gonna use my big ginormous glue stick along with my double-sided tape on this right here, okay? And again, this is just so that I don't see like the barcode and things of that nature coming through my fabric, because my fabric does have a bit of a light background to it, and I don't want to see that. You can totally paint over this, take some chalk paint to it, you can totally cover this up if you want to, or do like me. Well, hello there, Miss Wendy. Hello, hello. How are you? Why you spell my whole name out? Like, like my parents calling my name and I was in trouble. Anybody else's parents do that? I know mine did. My kids knew if I called you by your full given name, you know, yeah, that was not good. Things were definitely not right if I was calling them by all of their names. Especially if I called them with both last names. Ooh, then they knew they were really in trouble at that point. Because, you know, in Costa Rica we use 2 last names. Most Hispanic countries do use 2 last names. And I actually like the idea of that, because it helps to, for one, keep the mother's name going. You don't lose it with marriage like here. But also, it was done so that you know, could keep track of family. And weren't marrying into your cousins. No, you're fine. I was just like, ooh, what'd I do? I know. Full middle name and everything. You knew you were in trouble. Yeah, if I heard a full, you know. Oh, and see, my parents called me Tammy. Okay, so they've always called me Tammy. So at times, if my mom pops in, she'll be like, "Hi, Tammy," or whatever. That, you know, because my mom, my dad call me Tammy. Okay, a few close friends from my young childhood will call me that, but pretty much other than that, it's my birth name, which is Tamara. But if my parents use my birth name, ooh, If it wasn't Tammy, if it was Tamara, oh my gosh, I definitely knew I was in trouble. So you always wondered why they did that. What, calling by the, oh, with the two last names? Yeah, it's so that the, you know, the mother's lineage is still there, and it's a good way to keep track of family and make sure that, you know, you're not marrying into cousins. So, because this was way before, you know, DNA, blood tests, or whatever type things existed. So, yeah. Okay. We're going to trim this down a little bit, just here on the edge, so that I can, then I'm going to give myself my little notch here. So yeah, so my full name is Tamara Desiree Huber Santoro. My kids are Cordero Huber. So if they got a full, you know, if it was, let's say like with my oldest, if it was just Joshua John, which is first and second name, okay, yeah, you were kind of in trouble, pay attention to me. But if you got the full Joshua John Cordero Huber, oh ho ho ho, yeah, they knew they were in trouble at that point. So she calls you Joe Mary. Why did she call you Joe Mary? Why did she call you back like So I know that Maria Jose, Mary Joseph, is a common name in Hispanic culture, and I have been asked, how is that a female name? And I'm like, look, I don't know, don't ask me, I don't make the rules. It's just what it is. But yeah, so for the most part, by my parents, I was always called Tammy. But if I got in trouble, then it was Tamara. Tamara Desiree. And that, oh, I think I can honestly count the times I had my full name called out to me. I tried my best not to get in trouble. I hated getting in trouble. Yeah, there's a lot of places that uses the two last names. Honestly, the biggest is Europe, the US. Well, in the US, I mean, we take from Europe. So if you had a lot of the European you know, and you know, I think also a lot of it is because the matriarch is very important in Hispanic cultures, whereas in Western culture, you know, females, I mean, we haven't always had like such a good standing, in the sense of, you know, the men always look down at women. Don't get me wrong, you saw that in Hispanic culture, but not, I don't think it's, yeah. You were yeah, so your name is Mary Jo, but you would say it backwards? I mean, maybe that's the way she knew she could get a hold of you. So, like with my oldest, his name is Joshua, right? So we tend to call him Josh, Joshy, you know. His friends call him Josh. Most people know him by Josh. So I'd be like, Josh. Joshy. Joshua. You know, it's like, huh? What? And if you didn't, and if that one didn't get him, then it was the Joshua. Then I'd get his attention. So, yeah. Hello there to everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. So, again, I am just using this mac and cheese box. My daughter loves mac and cheese, y'all. So, using a mac and cheese box to make the cover for what is going to be my pink Halloween journal. Yeah, I know I'm late, but guess what? I tend to do the spooky and stuff all year round. I like it, so it's fine. It's gonna be okay. Miss Ruthie, you know, it's hard for me to believe you being terrible because you are just the sweetest ever. Grant you, my dad would say that I was the best daughter until it had to do with boys. He said that that's when I was bad. Oh yeah, yeah, because you knew. I mean, I still, like, if I'm trying to get a hold, if we're in a group and I'm trying to get a hold of any of my kids, and like I said, I'll go by their nickname. And if I can't get them with their nickname, I'll say their birth name. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go to if I gotta go to the full name, then at that point I'm aggravated. Maybe I really didn't need you for anything important, but at that point I'm aggravated and mad because you ignored me. So, but it's funny because my kids will be like, well, but mom, we'll be like, mom, mama, mommy, mommy. And I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, if I still haven't replied to any of that, then it's mother, and then at that point I'll be like, what is it? So, you know, we laugh about that because it does kind of go both ways. But yeah, try, I called my son one time by his full name, and his friends looked at him like, your name is Joshua? We always thought your name was Josh. No, Josh is a nickname. Like, wow, who would call their kid Josh? It's like, well, there's people whose name are that. It's like, well, no, not me. Or you have people like my brother who didn't like his first name, and so he only wanted to be called by his middle name. So he doesn't like to be called by his first name because his first name is my dad's name. So he doesn't like that. So he likes to be called by his middle name. So he goes by John everywhere, and that's what people know him by. They don't know him by his real name. I do not know him by his legal name. Of course, he also didn't want to be called Junior after, I think, what was it, age 12? And I think that's when he started going by John. to me it's weird when, because my middle son, the one who's in the Navy, it is so odd for me to hear when people call him, because they call him by his first name, and we really don't use his first name. We've always just gone by his second name, and so it's just odd to hear that. Well, hello there, Miss Raven. Thank you so much for swapping with me. I really appreciate it. I really needed to sleep in. It's been rough lately, y'all. I can't wait to Halloween, and not because I want to hand out candy, but because I'm gonna have this darn tooth extracted finally. So hopefully after that, some of these migraines and dizzy spells that I've been having will go away, because it's getting aggravating, and they seem to be getting worse. So I'm really hoping that'll fix it. Okay, so this is the fabric that we will be using, and I am going to, it's a fat quarter, which is more than enough for what I need. So we're just gonna mark it, and just like I did with the paper, I'm gonna want enough to come over. So we are going, and because this is like on a grid, I know that it's kind of cut a little wonky, so I'm going to try my very best to get this in a decent thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, because as much as I do want to get this tooth out, I do not like the dentist, and anytime you do anything surgically, there's always a risk of something, so you know, there's always that. Okay, we're gonna move this out the way. Now I'm gonna bring my fabric scissors in. So you can use fabric, you can use something that would be considered trash, like a box for macaroni. Where did I do my mark? Right there. So how are you doing, Miss Raven? We're just talking about being called by our full names, and how we knew when our parents did that we were in trouble. Okay, so that is what I need. I'll put this away for another day. I'm gonna iron this out right quick just to help it sit a little bit better. And in the meantime, so this is what we got. Covered it in paper just because this was a little see-through-ish. It wasn't like super bad, but it was like, you know, it definitely needed some. It was definitely gonna need some adjusting there, because I didn't want to see the barcode and stuff through it. So now it won't have that issue. So this is going to be the cover, and then I'll probably find some kind of focal or something. I'm not sure just yet. And I don't mind that you'll see my sewing through this. That's why I'm going to go ahead and cover it. Like I said, I don't mind that you see the sewing coming through the spine. I think it looks good. I know there's some people who don't like that, but in my case, I'm fine with it. So, more than anything, just trying to get some of the fabric fold, because you know, they fold these things so well that they end up with creases in them, and I don't like that. So that's a little bit better. I mean, there's still a little bit of a crease there, but you know, I'm not gonna get like super ooper duper annoyed by it. Alright, I'm going. Hello there, Miss Jackie. Welcome in, friend. Okay, here we go. So again, I'm just using the 3-in-1. If you like using Fabri-Tac, you can use that. You could also use the Eileen's Tacky Glue. I'd say maybe try to use the clear one preferably, especially if like maybe you can't be in a well ventilated area, or you don't like or maybe like the smell or whatever might cause you issues. But this works really well for me, so when I can, I use it, especially with fabric. Now this is thin enough board, okay, that you could sew this, but it's gonna depend on your sewing machine and the needle that you have, okay? So that would be the only thing that you would have to be a bit conscious of, I think would be the word. Okay, so and see, because this one has a grid, I'm kind of going to want to make sure that it to an extent is following that grid so it doesn't look too wonky. That's just me, okay? You might like the wonky. Oh yeah, especially if you're using like denim material. Oh yeah, for sure, because that's some thick material right there. Okay. And then we're just gonna varnish it a little bit. And so what kind of sewing machine do you use, Miss Ruthie, when you're sewing? And do you use like a special needle? Because, you know, some people feel they kind of get scared when it comes to sewing and putting paper or board through their sewing machine. So I can understand that. Now these are not my actual material scissors, so they're obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed, but they work. Right? They work. At least for this little bit that I need to do. Or like with ribbon and stuff like that. Under other circumstances, no. I pull out my big ones. And all I'm doing here is I am cutting, again, like I did with the paper, but I'm leaving a little bit of a space there so that when I go to cover, it'll cover my corner, okay? And then we have to do that notch here again. Ooh, cool. You're gonna have to show us. Do you like how it came out? Miss Wendy is trying a few new techniques and stuff on this new journal that she's doing, which is super cool. So we actually did a duel last night, and we kind of talked through some of the stuff that she was working on and ideas of how to do it. Awesome. Yeah, he's making you birthday is he making you birthday tacos? It was Miss Wendy's birthday this week. So she had her birthday, she had some birthday tacos, and then I know she was having her son making her some more birthday tacos. Hey, I could eat tacos because you can make tacos in so many different ways. It is, yeah, I love tacos. Yeah, to be able to fold it so that it would actually be able to hold. Is that what you're talking about? When we were talking about it, I figured, because you were saying, yeah, that you had to keep in mind. And I was like, yes, you'll have to keep in mind those gaps. So this is a very simple journal cover because you don't have to worry about the gaps and stuff. You just have to really manipulate this middle piece here for it to hold. So you know, that's one of the things that I like when you do a duo, is that you can talk your way through something with someone. It's kind of like when we go live, but it's better because you guys have to type it up, whereas if you are with someone live, I mean, you get to respond right then and there, right? So I used to do duos a lot. I actually miss doing them. Talking about duos, we have Freaky Friday coming up. What's that gonna be about? I was confused about that. Wasn't that today? I don't know. I'm so confused. And then the inside is going to be covered in paper, so all of these little tabs will not be visible, okay? When somebody opens up the journal, the tabs will not be visible because, and try to pull it tight when you are putting it down. So you want to have those nice crisp edges. So this is an easy, honestly, it's an easy way to make a journal cover, especially if maybe you don't feel confident in like building a straight cover from just or what do we call, like the an album, building a book, building an album, building a journal cover. I mean, I've heard it called so many different ways, guys, it ain't funny. Oh, I would have been fine with that. I thought that was funny. Could you imagine somebody coming on to my page and it'd be somebody else instead? I think it was a good idea to promote other people. you know? I don't, as you guys can tell, I don't do very well with keeping up with chats. So, y'all forgive me. I really try, but oh my gosh. It is so hard for me to keep up with chats sometimes. Yeah, because that's what I thought the whole event was. I was like, ooh, that'd be fun. Have somebody, you know, that would be definitely very freaky. Could you imagine, like, if, you know, my mom or somebody pops on and they're like, whoa, wait a second, you're not my daughter. That would definitely be freaky. But again, I mean, it's a great way for people to be like, oh, you know, like, yeah, I follow Tamara, but I don't know you. I know that most of us kind of follow each other, but not everybody that follows us follows everybody else, you know? So I think that's kind of cool. In my thing would have been very, because I don't know about anybody else, but I double stream to YouTube, so somebody on YouTube would have been looking for my page and like, who? Wait a second, it's not the same faces as what I'm normally used to, you know? That would have been fun. Like I said, I think it was a good concept though. Good concept, MJ. I know you and the admin team work very hard on coming up with some really good, fun events. And it's hard because, you know, I mean, it's hard to be trying to come up with something that maybe another group hasn't done. So, I guess the biggest fear with that is the fact that you're giving another person admin right to their page, and so like it would have to be somebody you trust. I think that's the biggest thing. Like it couldn't just be a random person. Like you would have to like trust them. Like I would trust you or Raven or Sarah or Miss Wendy. You know, there's several people that I would trust to give y'all the access, you know, to do something like that. And then you only do it for the time, and then once the live is done, you reverse it. But that's the biggest thing, is people are so afraid to trust somebody else with their page, because I get it, lots of stuff happens and has happened, and I mean, I get it, you know, I really do. So I understand that, totally do. Okay, so this is, oh, never mind, it was on backwards. So this is what it's going to look like. I think that's really cute. Now we need to put our paper on the inside. And for that, I wanted to use that paper, but I'm gonna need, I think I need a solid, do you guys think it should be a solid black or a solid pink on the inside? Because this is going to be for the inside. I mean, I could always put something else, but just to cover this, solid black or solid pink? What do you guys think would look better? Black or pink? The pink. Okay, anybody else for pink? If that's the case, I'm gonna go grab pink. Oop, that's not a right pink. That's just too bright. I was bringing a hot pink. That would not look good. Like, it was like a neon pink. So that's not good. So we're just gonna do... And I'm not getting a 12 by 12. I'm actually getting an 8.5 by 11. So, up after me will be Crafty Cove with Melissa Rose, so make sure that you are sticking around to watch her. She will be closing this event out. Again, I want to thank the awesome MJ and her team for having me. I'm always grateful when y'all awesome ladies allow me to be part of your events, because I feel very honored to be able to do that. Have I ever told you guys I really never measure anything? I don't. I really don't. Could actually take a little sliver off. But yeah, so this is going to be the base of this pink Halloween journal that I've been meaning to do now for a bit. So I'm excited that I got to get that started. Thank you again, MJ, for having me. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate your trust and confidence in allowing me to be part of your events. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, so I had the Battle of the Junk Journal today, guys, and my journal sold, and I'm so excited. I am so excited. It got bid all the way to 82. So that was really nice. So I'm very happy about that for sure. Okay. So we're going to get the glue out and we're going to start. And you could do the decoupage method on this and iron it for sure if you want to make sure. I know. I was so excited too because I was like, oh my gosh, is anybody gonna like my style of journal? And I don't know, did everybody get to see my dark romance journal? Did I get to show it to everybody on here? But this is it. This is it right here. And this is the one that, yay, I mean, I didn't win the quote-unquote battle part, but I'm just so excited that somebody liked it. Well, that a few somebodies liked it enough to bid it up that much. So this will be getting packaged up and sent to the winner. Yay, I'm so excited. I am so excited. for that. That was, I will say that was definitely a little mentally exhausting, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be good enough. But kind of like I tell you guys, you know, go with what you love, you know, follow your heart when you're crafting, and that's what matters. I had fun making it, and I'm just grateful that somebody loved it. So thank you, I appreciate you. And MJ, I can't wait till you start participating in some of my events too, my friend. And if anybody ever wonders, the journal event that I host is the second Thursday of every month. Yes, ma'am. We will be going to see Miss Melissa Rose. I actually haven't seen her in a while, so that's going to be nice. I haven't seen Miss Melissa Rose in a while, so that's going to be nice to see her. I'm super excited for that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on gluing this down, making sure that I fold it as I go, so that my spine part will be nice and done. And then if there's any left over, I'll trim it off. But this will be the outside of the journal that I'll be working on. So thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. Remember, friends, that, you know, at the end of the day, right, you are loved, you are precious. Be kind to one another, because kindness is free to give, to receive, and there's not enough of it out there. So thank you for always being so kind to me, every single one of you. It really does mean the world to me. It really, really does. So I love you.